Good morning. My name is Marilyn Jones, and I'm a student at Liberty University Online, HSC 0508. My class is Interpersonal Communication. This morning we want to be introduced to interpersonal communication. According to Stewart, it happens when a person is involved in a conversation and it maximizes the presence of the person. It gives them your full attention. Interpersonal communication is a learned behavior. It's not something that you're born with. It's not something that you're gifted with. It's something that you actually have to work on, practice on, and to use. Floyd made it simple. He said, conceiving of listening as an act of affection situates listening among a range of behaviors known to convey message of care, caring, loving, and fondness for the recipient. In other words, it's about how you react to the person who you're dealing with, how they react to you, whether or not they trust you or not. Communication is interpreted as inhaling and exhaling, according to Stewart. Stewart says it's kind of like breathing. You breathe in is when you're receiving the message from the sender, and when you exhale, you're sending a message back out to the receiver. It's a two-way thing. You have to breathe. So in a conversation, you have to breathe and you have to exhale. Also, the author here says that listening is deeply rooted in the context of its ability to help create, maintain, and enhance positive interpersonal relationship. We need to be able to listen. When you listen deeply when your listening is deeply rooted, that means you're paying attention. You're attentive. You're listening to the way a person responding. You're empathetic with those people. There are 6 subset processes in the feature also, which is meaning, choice, culture, identities, conversation, and nexting. We're going to hit a little bit on nexting as we go through our next slide. Self-disclosure is focusing on your present, not your past. That simply means that you open up to a person when you're talking to them. You want to build a relationship. You want to build trust. And sometimes in conversations, people don't mention that they've had issues or they've had problems. Therefore, they're talking to you and you're not interested. But you need to be able to talk to them and be open and honest with them about your situation that you've been through, your experiences that you've had to deal with. My background is that I'm a mother of 3. I have 10 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren. At the age of 55, I decided to get my bachelor's degree. At the time, I only had a GED. So from a GED to a bachelor's degree in 2010, I received my Psychology for Christian Counseling degree, which was a major accomplishment for me. Currently, I'm pursuing my master's in dual study, Human Service Counseling and Executive Leadership. At the age of 62 years old, I will be a graduate with a master's. My overarching goal is to improve my listening techniques. Peterson has quite a few techniques to practice, and that's something that I really need to do. I'm told that I'm not a very good listener. I don't really hear what people are saying, and I respond before. That's what this is, avoiding listening in an advanced response mode. I'll explain that a little bit later, but basically in short term, it means that I don't listen, I'm judgmental. To develop a better relationship with God, with the verbal and nonverbal communication, you have to be able to not let your body language or their body language determine the conversation. You have to be aware of how you are responding to people. And according to Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, you have to trust in God. And if you trust in Him to guide you, He will direct your path. I want to master listening. Get the underlying meaning of what people are saying. People begin to talk to me and I automatically decide, hey, listen, I already got the answer. I don't listen with sympathy. I don't listen with open ears. I'm quick to judge. I've heard 2 words and I'm ready now to tell you what the problem is. And the other thing is when they have a problem, I need to stop trying to fix it. I need to teach people how to think for themselves. I need to stop thinking for them. I need to stop asking questions before I actually have given an answer, before I even have the question brought out to me. Enlarging conversation is to identify needs plus intention resourcing equals enlarging the conversation, which practically means as an empathetic listener, that's what I need to do. I need to be able to hear. I need to be able to watch my facial discussions. I need to be able to do all of the things I need to in a nonverbal communication. I can't sit with a bad attitude or my facial expressions or my eye contact movements. All of that determines how your conversation comes out. Self-disclosure, again, is opening up to each other, opening up to different ones, to tell them what's really on the inside of you, to be honest. I guess that's basically self-disclosure, mean honesty. We need to be a more effective listener. I need to be able to hear you and not fidget and move around and do things. I need to pay attention. Next thing, which is taking an additional step in communication. You know, to me, that says that we have to do something that's more than just acting as if we're listening. We need to take it to another step. Engage. Ask you questions. Make you think about what you're doing. Make you think about what you're saying and what the conversation is. Lastly, we talked about the DISC personality behavior. This is something that everyone has. Everyone has a specific personality. They have a unique personality. This behavior blend that comes from uniquely you, what it does is it helps you to understand how you think, the way you think, and the way you act. In this case, what is a behavior blend? It's the active outgoing. It's people oriented. It's passive reserved. It's task oriented. It gives you your personality. We took this exam. Well, it's actually an assessment, and it actually tells you two things. This is expected of me. What this is expected of me is what people think. What I think that people think about me. And in this case, what is expected of me is inspirational specialist. It broke down in here that I'm an I and an S, which is inspiring, interactive, and influence. And then there's so many more things that goes with that. S is the behavior, stability, support, and servant. This is me, which I was really surprised to find out that this is exactly the way that I am. It's competent, influencing, and specializing. Listening, time to listen. I chose this because this is what it is for me. It's time to listen and stop being so judgmental. I said I was going to mention to you this. What this is advanced response tells you that we tell the talker what to do, what not to do. We solve their problems. This is something that Burley says we have to get past and stop doing. It's a critical response. I don't want to be judgmental to anyone ever again. My action plan is to commit to being beliefs and spiritual values. I want to communicate that. I want people to see that. I want to avoid listening in an advanced response mode. I want to become more focused listener, pay more attention, to be less critical and judgmental. I want to improve my skills by doing what I need to do. I want to listen empathetically, and I want to listen at a level 1. A level 1 is empathetic. I want to successfully manage my time. I don't manage my time very well, but that's something that I'm working on. I want to try to be more of a nonverbal action, both for myself and for others. And again, I just quoted the scripture earlier, but I wanted to put it in writing so that you can see Proverbs 3 and 5 is really what we need to do. In conclusion, this project has given to me an opportunity to express what I've learned. You know, I've learned that I'm not a very good listener, and because of that, where I thought I was giving my all to someone when they were talking to me, I actually was not doing that. And that is a problem. Being judgmental has been a problem, and I want to go back and make people understand that over the years I've tried so hard to, well, I guess I was just pretending to be a listener. When people would come to me with problems, I had an instant answer for them. I was ready to give them what they needed. I was ready to tell them what they could do. But as we discussed, when the video stops and the class has ended, I want to be the person that God has called me to be at the end of the day. I don't want this to just be a project, but I want it to be an everyday way of living. And with that said, I want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I may not be the perfect presenter, but I thank you for listening. God bless you, and you have a great day.